Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Kimberly. Thanks for tuning in to another video, or welcome if this is your first time. Okay, today's video is going to be about tips for applying to internships and fellowships as a science or engineering student. Now, or actually this can honestly apply to anyone in any field, but this is mostly for people who are in undergrad because I haven't started grad school yet, so I don't have tips for people who are older than me. But yeah, I just really hope that this video can help people out. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, see, I keep saying so even though rhymes, even though I put a so counter on my last or my one of my videos. Frustrating, I know, but you know what? It's okay. It is okay. We'll be better eventually. The first tip that I have for people is to be open-minded. And when I say this, and what I mean by this is a lot of times students will have a specific career field that they want to go into, or a specific internship that they want really badly, which is completely fine. I was the same way. I really wanted to intern for the Department of Energy and I was super determined. However, it's important to keep an open mind in the application process because you never know what could happen. Maybe that is your dream internship, and if that's the only one you apply for and you don't get it, you're left without an internship that year. So it's really good to keep an open mind. Obviously, go for your dreams, go for your goals, work hard for them, but also have a backup plan. And if the original plan does not follow through, then you can, and you have a different option, then it's better to go with that option than have nothing at all, if that makes sense. The second tip that I have is to have a diverse resume. And what I mean by this is it's really important to show off your relevant hard skills and also your relevant soft skills. So hard skills are things like if you know a computer programming language, or if you've had a certain internship and you were able to use this certain machine that goes in, like for example in electrochemistry, if you know how to use a tensiometer or a potentiostat or something. Those are hard skills. Soft skills are communication skills, teamwork, time management, leadership, things like that. So it's really important to not only show that you have technical hard skills on your resume, but show through those skills that you have gained the proper communication skills, leadership skills. So if you have experience in a different leadership role, maybe it's for some random club, it's good to put that on there because then recruiters will see that you have experience in leading a group, whether it be the sewing club or whatever. I just love to talk about sewing, but that's the first thing that came to my mind, okay? So it's really good to have a diverse resume. I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I was able to land an internship because of my technical background, but mostly because of my work in public relations. The hiring manager really liked that about me. So really try to have a diverse resume because it shows that you can work effectively. The third tip that I have is to, of course, this is so obvious, but also really not that obvious because sometimes people are in a rush and don't do this, but please have someone look over your resume before you send it in. And I really, really encourage you, if your university has a career center, to go to that career center and utilize it because they are offering free services that oftentimes are covered by your tuition. So it's much better to go to the career center, get help from them because you're paying for that through your tuition, through being there. So please, please try to use the career center and even send it to a friend or someone older who has experience in applying, just so they can give you tips because you can always improve your resume. Very beneficial to do that. My fourth tip is, it literally says right here, I was writing this last night, do not sleep on the cover letter, or what I mean is do not underestimate it. And this is actually a topic for debate because a lot of people see no use in the cover letter, but I've been to a lot of career shops and spoken to a lot of professionals, HR professionals in the field, and they say otherwise. The importance of a cover letter is that it allows you to showcase or pinpoint two or three specific experiences you've had and showcase why those make you an exemplary candidate for this position. So it really gives you the opportunity to expand on those, to really show your personality a bit, and to convince the employer that because of these experiences, I am perfect for your internship or for your fellowship or whatever. So I really, really recommend actually putting effort into the cover letter. Don't make it generic. I do have a base cover letter that I use, but I also change it like when I say a base, I mean there are a few things that I always keep on the cover letter. Obviously, my university, my major, whatever. But depending on the position, you always want to change out what experiences you want to talk about or what soft skills you're trying to show them, blah, blah, blah. So really, really, really try to cater your cover letter to the specific company or program and make sure you're not just giving them a generic one and really trying hard to give a good cover letter. If your application requires a letter of recommendation, ask letter writers who you are certain will write good letters of recommendation, just because a lot of times students kind of feel entitled to receive good letters of recommendation if they've had a professor whose class they got a good grade in. But you need to ask letter writers who you've established a strong relationship with and can vouch for your work. So don't just, maybe some professors are willing to write letters for students who receive A's, but for the most part, professors want to actually have an established relationship with you. Otherwise, they don't have much to say about you in the letter. So really make sure you're asking letter writers who can vouch for you. Again, this seems obvious, but if your application requires essays, please have someone look over the essays. I know a lot of my friends have done applications last minute and have turned it in willy-nilly, but that's if you really, really, really want something, it's much better to have someone read it over because then you can critique it, and over time it'll become much more smoothed out and will be a much easier essay to read and can actually increase your chances, of course, in getting into the program. So please make sure you have someone read it. So the last tip that I have, very obvious again, but start early as you can. It's never too early to start looking for opportunities. For example, for a summer internship that I got, or a summer fellowship I got in the summer of 2019, I started applying in September of 2018, and my application was due for that specific program in December, I believe. So very, very early to start applying for those programs. Normally, the earlier applications are for fellowship programs or research experiences for undergraduate programs. So those definitely require a lot more time because you have to have letters of recommendation and essays. But even internships, a lot of them are hiring way in advance. So please look out for those and start as early as you can. It's just a quick Google search, biomedical engineering internship, blah, 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 blah. So just look out for those. Along the lines of tips, but more like job searching resources that I really recommend for undergraduate students, I am going to talk about 4 that I have had really great success with. So if you are looking for an internship, the first one I recommend that I'm sure you've heard of is LinkedIn. LinkedIn actually has a lot of great job resources or internship resources that you can find. A lot of companies post on there because it is a huge, huge professional social media outlet. So I highly recommend you make an account, you start building up your network and building up your profile so that you can look for different jobs and they can see your LinkedIn account, because I promise you this, I've seen it. I've applied to internships, and if you have the free LinkedIn, you can't see everyone who views your profile, but it'll show you people from this company. Sometimes it'll show you like a preview of who's seen it. And I've seen internships I've applied to, and then the company name come up a few weeks later of them viewing my profile. So I promise you they look at your profile if you have a LinkedIn or your other social media. So highly recommend both creating an account and using it for professional outlets. The second job search engine I really, really recommend, I've actually gotten 2 offers for fellowships through this, is Zintellect. And Zintellect isn't super popular, but it's powered by the Oak Ridge Institute for Science and Education, other known as ORISE, which facilitates many educational programs for students in science and engineering. So I really, really recommend Zintellect. There are a lot of really cool opportunities on there that you can find. And I'm actually going to give a list down below of different REUs and fellowships and internship programs I've come across through these job search engines. So maybe you can apply for them because I believe the applications will be opening up. I know we're still in quarantine and coronavirus and everything, and the future is really unknown, but I really think, or I hope next summer they'll be bringing in interns, so that will help you out. The third job search engine I highly recommend is USA Jobs, and this is more for people who are looking for government internships or just federal service internships. I've found a lot of great opportunities through this. Unfortunately, I think a lot of them are unpaid. I was offered a couple that were unpaid, so I decided not to take them, but you can find really cool opportunities through this. The fourth one I think a lot of people know about, I think a lot of universities use it, is called Handshake. And I actually have found a lot of great jobs through Handshake as well, a lot of great internships there. So really recommend that. It's very similar to LinkedIn. You have your own account that in your own profile that says your major and everything, and I think it's more catered towards university students. So this is definitely a great resource because companies specifically use Handshake to reach out to university students. I hope you enjoyed all of that information. Hope it wasn't. See, I always make the longest videos, but I just have a lot to say, okay? And I hope it's helpful. So, like I said, I'm going to give a list of some internships or fellowship programs that I've applied to or come across in the past that that reaches out to a wide range of majors. So a lot of people can apply to a range of these. And hopefully these will spark your interest and maybe give you some ideas to look at other websites or, start looking for your own opportunities to apply to because fall is coming, the applications are opening up. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and maybe a lot of people aren't even thinking about this, but if you are thinking about it and you've come across this video, I really hope it helped you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.